All right, welcome back to season 3 of our show, and today it's pork chops, fried pork chops. We're showing you the ultimate fried pork chop ham sandwich, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so it's pork chop sandwiches here, ham pork chop sandwiches. So the first thing we're gonna do, now we got our loin meat over here, and we're gonna get back to that in just a second, but I got a ham here. This is a boneless ham. First thing I'm gonna do is just start slicing really thin pieces off of here. Just like that. You want them thin like that, and I'll show you why later on. We're going to drop these in the fryer, and we want them to fry really thin, so you want nice thin pieces here. And if they're too thick, they're going to ruin the sandwich. Now this ham is already cured. That means it's cooked. And anytime you see ham this color with curing salts, I mean, this is how thin you want that, by the way, just like that. I could put this on a slicer, but why? So anytime you see ham this color, that means it's cured with curing salts, and then smoked, and then cooked. That's the process. And just like that is the way you want them. I usually leave a piece of ham like this just hanging around. This is great for breakfast. You drop this in a frying pan, and boy, you got a good one there. It's a great alternative to bacon, and it's cheaper. It gives you that nice salty taste, and it's just a lot cheaper. So I'm gonna cut just a little bit more out of here, and then I think I'm all good. And then we're gonna start on the loins. All right, I think that's about it. Maybe we'll cut one more piece here. And there it is. All right. I'm gonna move this off to the side. Now we're gonna bring in our loin. So what I'm gonna do is just wipe this off the cutting board real quick. This is all raw meat, so except for that one, it's cured already. So you still have to be careful with meats, but with stuff like the loin coming up, you really have to be careful with this one because it is raw meat. So what I'll do with this, I'm gonna put it in a little baggie. Just like that. I'm gonna leave the end open so I get the air out of there. I'm gonna put it in here like that. And I'm just gonna slide this back. I'm gonna pick this up so I don't make a lot of noise. I'm just gonna come in here like this and just pound that out. Like that. So I'm gonna get to pounding these guys out, and we're gonna meet you back here when we're all thinned out, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, we got our meat nice and pounded out. Let's show you what to do from here. So right here I have some flour. This is all-purpose flour. I got a rub here. And into the flour, the rub goes. There's no salt in here. I got some onion powder, garlic powder, a little oregano, some sage. Just mix it up, make it yours. Now a lot of people ask me, what's in your rubs? I got about 900 rubs. And I use ones for fish, I use ones for chicken, and sometimes I surprise myself and I just mix up a bunch of different rubs and I try them on different things. Oops, spelled a little there, but no big deal. But that's how you want to do that. So you want to leave your flour in a bag, put your rub in here, and then now on with your mustard. We got a little bit of powder on there, but it doesn't make a difference. So we're just gonna get our mustard on here. And just make sure you go even with the blobs there. So just rub that in. I'm gonna go front and back, so I'm just gonna rub everyone against each other. Like that. And just make sure you get a good amount on there. Just get it all rubbed in. Now for those of you guys that are new, you probably haven't seen our chicken video, but we use mustard in it. And I use mustard a lot when I fry. And I got a couple of things I do frying that I don't use mustard on, which we'll show you down the road. So now we got our mustard rubbed in. I'll put a little bit more, decent amount of that. Now we're going to get on our rub. And then after we put this rub on, we're going to go in the refrigerator with these for about 30 minutes, just to let them firm up, because we don't want to fry these room temperature. We want to chill them down before we fry them. They're just going to fry better. Now, like I said, there's no salt in this rub. I got a little cayenne pepper in here too, on this particular rub. And that's it, but you want a good amount of that seasoning on there. And get them on there. Alright, so I'm going to put these in the fridge just for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to meet you onto the fryer with all of this, including that ham, so stick around, don't go anywhere. Alright, so those pork chops are pounded out, sitting in the fridge, waiting to get fried. Let's show you how to just make a quick beer battered onion ring. So right here we have 2 onions. Now you're not going to need a lot of onions for this, so the first thing we're going to do is just start chopping up some of our onions. So what I do is I take my onion like this, I'll chop off the ends, I'll spin it around, chop off that end. Now I'm laying flat. And now you want to get the skins off the side, so very easily just go through the side like that. And you'll get the first layer off of here. Now you're doing onion rings, so you want to make sure you keep all your layers. So just come over and around and take off the first layer like that. Alright, now that we have the first layer off, be very careful. You're going to hold the onion like this, and right in the middle of it, just go right down. Now that you do that, you're just going to take your hands and start pushing through easy, like that. And just start taking your hands and working around the onion to get them separated. And push through. Now look how many onion rings we're going to make. We got a bunch here. Now these I just fry whole like that. But let's push this through. Just like that. If you bust one up, it doesn't matter, you could still fry it. It'll hold together. And just make sure you gently push through. I'm going to work my hands around here. Some are a little bit tighter than others. And just push through. Like that. See, that one broke, but it's alright, it's fine. And just keep pushing through. Until you're able to separate them. Now this one I might have to fry together, I'm not sure yet, but let's see if we can get this one separated. I'm just gonna go like that and pull that through. Alright, there we go. We can still fry them up, they're still in position, and that's it. Alright, so I'm going to push this off to the side, and now I'm just going to show you how to make the batter. But you can see that one onion makes a lot of onion rings, so just judge it out, see how many people you're going to feed, and just kind of figure it out. I mean, most people eat 3 of these things and they're pretty much full. Let's show you the beer batter. So I'm going to take some flour, this is just all-purpose flour. And we're going to get a couple of spoonfuls in there. Now you won't need much of this. Need about there. I got a basic rub here. I'm going to get some of that rub in there. Garlic powder, onion powder. A few other seasonings in there. And I got some beer here. Now there's no salt in that rub. Now those of you that are new to the channel, I never put salt in my rubs, because you're going to add salt in your food and it's going to be too much salt. So let's start getting that mixed up. I'm going to add a little bit more of that beer and just get your ratios correct. You should come to a really nice consistency on here. And this is all about consistency. So if you add too much flour, you're going to have to get more beer in there to make it right. Or vice versa. I'm going to add a little bit more. And that's about the consistency we're looking for. Just like that. And if it's a little loose, by the time it sits out, it's going to tighten up anyway. All right, there you go. Just like that. We got our oil heating up, 375. We're going to meet you onto the fryer, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, 375. Let's get these onion rings in. So I'm just going to put a couple in at a time. About 3 of them. And just get them rolled around in there like that. I use my tongue. This is why you want the perfect consistency on the batter, because look at that. You want that to be able to just kind of not roll off too fast, but not be too thick at the same time. So you want it about there. And when it just starts to roll off around there, into the grease you go. 375. Just drop it. Very simple. I like using the fryer on this one. These things fry really, really quick. And make sure you drop the basket, because if you put these in without the basket being dropped, they're going to stick. All right, and with this one we go. And we're just going to throw our third one in. And don't overcrowd the fryer, because they'll stick together and you'll have a mess on your hand. All right, I'm going to get this last one in, and we're going to meet you back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're 3 minutes in. Now, you can either pick your basket up like this and drain them and get them out safely. What I like to do is I like to go one at a time, because I put these other ones in and I want these to get a little bit more darker. So what I'll do is just, you can pick the basket up to be safe, but I'll just bring this over and drain it right over top of the others. And right in I go. And now they're all looking pretty right. And I'm going to grab this one out. Get it on here. Now you want to salt these immediately afterwards, because they're not salted. Let's see if you even want salt. You can use it. So I got these on a nice draining rack. And what I'll do is go in with just a touch of salt like that. And that's it. I'm going to let these guys cool down and drop some more in, and we'll meet you back here. All right, onion rings are out of the fryer. I just want to show you these. I mean, look at that. Nice golden. I'm just going to open one of these up and just show you. They're not greasy. Let's get a bite. I think that crunch says it all. We'll meet you back here to fry the pork chops. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our grease is heated up. Now we're frying at about 365 on the oil. And I'm just going to start getting a couple of these in the basket, or in the bag rather. So I'm going to put them in like that. Just wipe my hands. I'm going to zip the bag. Leave the air in the bag. Don't take the air out of the bag. Make sure you zip it well, like that. And you're just gonna do the old shake, like the old shake and bake. The only difference is, it ain't shake and bake. It's more like shake and fry. All right, here we go. Now that they're out, you're gonna just give it a dusting. Now I dropped the basket. You don't want to put these in the basket and drop it down because you're going to ruin your flour and it's going to stick. So let's just go like this, and into the oil we go. Let's let it sit here for a couple of seconds. And then we're just going to drop it. Just like that. I'm going to give that a couple of seconds just to heat back up. And I'm only doing 2 at a time. This is a small basket. And if I was going to fry some serious stuff, I go outside and fry on my cast iron. So give that a couple of seconds to heat up. And then now we got the other one. So we're going to get this in towards the back. We're going to go in slowly and just drop it. And we'll just let the oil take it down and maybe give it just a little shake there. Don't shake it too much because you'll break the batter. All right, we're gonna fry these up and meet you right back here, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, out of the oil we are. Now these were only in there for about, they're loin chops. So you're only gonna give them about 8 to 10 minutes max. Otherwise, you're going to dry them right out. Now, these were pork chops on the bone. You can really hit them hard with that heat. I left all that fat on here, too, because that fat, to me, is the best part. And that's it. That's what we're looking at. I'm going to let that oil heat back up. I'm going to fry the rest of these up, and then we're going to get our bacon in, and then we're going to meet you back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, all of our pork chop are out. Now it's time to get in the ham. Now the reason why we didn't fry the ham first is because this ham is cured and it's got sugar in it. And you don't want to put this in because this oil is going to be pretty much destroyed afterwards, after the ham goes in it. So all that sugar is just going to just kill the oil. So I'm going to start off with just that in there. I'm going to sort of drop it and get the ham in there. And just start putting it in. Got to have some popping going on, so be careful. Because the ham has a lot of water in it. Let me get my blower on. All right, we're going to get this fried up, and then we're going to meet you guys back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, bacon's out of here, or ham's out of here. And that's how you want that. Take a look at that. Looks just like bacon. I called it bacon. Look at that. Beautiful. That's why you want it that thin. You don't want these thick because they're not going to look like bacon and they're not going to really come out like bacon. So you want to slice them really thin because of that. All right, we're going to get to frying up the rest of these, and then we're going to meet you onto the table to put all this together, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are on the chopping block. Pork chop ham sandwiches. Let's show you what we got. Look at those chops. And those beautiful onion rings that we fry. This is our bacon. And just take a look at that spread. So, let's get this together. I'm just going to move this off to the side. And the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to get into one of these nice chops. Now, like we always do, we're going to cut this right down the middle. And then cuts so tender. And look at that. Beautiful. And it's still full of juice. I'm just going to squeeze that. Let's see, that's still full of juice. All right, let's show you what this looks like on a plate. But first, got to get that little taste going on there. Look at that. Beautiful. Excellent. Nothing beats a fried pork chop. let's plate this up. So we're gonna get on our plate. And I think I'm gonna choose another chop. I think I'll choose this guy right here. And then I'm gonna get in our bread. Get a couple of pieces of bread on the plate here. And I'm gonna take this chop and get it in here. Just like that. And the way I like mine, I'm gonna go in with just a little mayo. Just on the bread. Gotta have some nice mayo in that bread. There we go. I'm gonna put that off to the side. And then I'm just gonna get a little onion on here, because I'm a big onion fan. I like my onion. Get a couple of pieces of that in there. Not too much. Followed by some tomato. A couple of pieces of tomato on there. I got some fresh basil here, so I'm just going to go in and rip up a couple of pieces of fresh basil and get that in there. Just like that. And I'll just lay that on there. Like that. And next, I'm going to put the hood on. I'll lay it right on there. Like that. Now we made some beautiful onion rings, as you guys saw. Look at these guys. I mean, you can't really go wrong with these. Let's see, I'm going to put them over here. Let's get a nice little onion ring set up here. Can't go wrong with too many onion rings, right? And got a little greenery on that plate. Got a little arugula spread on there. This back. Got a little arugula on here. I like my arugula. And I think I'm gonna put a little bit more onion on that plate, just because I like onion. A little tomato. And that's it. Let me just straighten this up. And there it is. A beautiful pork chop plate. My ham bacon. Look at that. Gotta have that one. Look at that. Right on there. Now we'll put our hood on. And now that completes that sandwich. Whew. Almost forgot that one. Can't do that. That's the whole sandwich right there. Alright, we're gonna get organized and we're gonna meet you right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. The Southern Fried Pork Chop Ham Sandwich. Can't go wrong with this one. With a beautiful beer battered onion ring dish there. So you guys want to give that one a shot. Very addictive, those onion rings, I do warn you. Can't have just one. We thank you. We enjoyed you coming. And until next time, gotta get that little Pitmaster taste there.